Welcome to the Practice Online. My name is Karina and this is Sarah. And together we'll be taking you through a sun practice. You know, if I were to ask you the question, what brings you joy? You'd probably be able to tell me the things that light you up the most. For me, it's time in nature or something like that. And we all have those things that we associate with joyfulness. So something that is super interesting to me is that the yoga tradition says that those things, they're not actually inherently joyful. They're just the things that unlock for us the joy that's already within. Because what those things do is give us a momentary experience of not wanting and a momentary experience of our true self. So those things in our external world are really just portals that allow us to experience who and what we truly are. So this practice that we're doing today is also designed to be a portal to bring to the surface the joy that is already inside. So we'll begin lying down in a bridge setup position. Wherever. On your back with your arms by your sides and your palms facing down. Feet parallel with a little gap between them. Before we begin to move, start to direct your breath so it's into the chest in a way that feels expansive and out from the belly in a way that feels stable. And as you establish that way of breathing, also be aware that in this moment, you're in a unique place at a unique time. Now we'll add some movement to the breath. So breathe into the chest, lift your hips to the sky and sweep your arms all the way overhead until the back of your hands touch the floor behind you. And exhale, release, hips down and hands touch the floor at the same time. We'll add in a breath count. Inhale, lift hips and arms for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, release for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift up for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, release for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 6, internal count. Exhale for 4. And take 2 more rounds where the inhale is 7 and then 8. Keep your exhale at 4. If the 7 or 8 count becomes too long for the inhale, just keep that inhale at 6. After that last round, keep your arms by the sides. Inhale, lift just the hips to the sky. Static bridge pose. You can keep the arms where they are, or you can interlace the hands underneath you. Just wriggle the shoulders in so you can really get into the upper chest, the upper lobes of the lungs. Continue to breathe into the chest and out from the belly. And if you can, establish that breathing rhythm at inhale 8 and exhale 4. Again, if 8 is too long, just do the best that you can. Press down through the entire soles of both feet, through the back of your arms and the back of the shoulders. As you hold here, also just continue to really pay attention, even if you've done this pose 1,000 times before. There'll be subtle shifts and changes inside of you all of the time, and you never really know the significance of some small shift until later. And take one more breath in. And release the hands. Exhale, release all the way to the floor. Pause at the bottom. Present to the moment through all of your senses. And extend your legs flat on the floor. Roll over onto your belly. So we'll set up for baby cobra. Forehead to the floor, hands with your palms flat on either side of your ribs. Your elbows will stick up to the sky, and squeeze the elbows in towards each other until you feel the front of the chest open more. Glue your legs to the ground. Inhale, lift just the chest. Use your back strength, no weight in the arms. Roll the shoulder heads back. Lift the back of your skull to the sky. And exhale to lower down, forehead to the ground. With a breath count, inhale, lift up for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold in for 2. Exhale for 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. Keep going like this. Inhale 6. Hold the breath in for 2. Exhale for 4. And each time you hold the breath in, establish presence in the heart. Notice that the inhale starts to create a sense of inner brightness and vibrancy within. Last round. At the end of that round, tuck your toes under, press weight into the hands, and press back to downward facing dog. If the back of the legs or the low back feel a little tight, just keep some softness in the knees. Press down firmly through the palms. Pull your hip creases back and up until you feel the elongation of the side of your body, the space between the vertebrae in your spine. Inhale and extend your right leg back and up into space. All the way up, press through the heel, push down through that right hand. And exhale, squeeze the knee to the chest, shift your weight forward, step the foot between the hands. Make sure that front knee is stacked over the ankle. Spin your back heel at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, raise the arms up, warrior one. And sink a little deeper into that front leg. Pull your right thigh bone back, roll your left hip forward. Make sure the outside edge of your back foot is glued to the ground and lift the arch of that back foot up. So keeping the position of the front leg, inhale, reach up through the hands. And exhale, sweep the arms out and down, bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart. And inhale, sweep the arms to the sky, lift the collarbones, lift the heart. And exhale, sweep the arms out and down, bring the hands to prayer. One more time. Big breath in, feel the expansion of the side body, the lift of the chest. And steady breath out, bring your hands to prayer. And inhale, reach the arms to the sky, hold them there as you breathe. The slight pause at the top of each inhale, where the breath and the body feel full. Take one more breath in. Then use the exhale to open into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. If you need a quick moment just to straighten and then re-bend that leg, take it. Gaze over the front hand. Pull your right knee and your left hip apart. Then bring your right forearm to your thigh. Sweep that left arm all the way up and over on the diagonal line. So you have this extension through the left side body from your back foot, which is pressing down, to your top wrist, which is pulling up and out. Good. So relax the shoulders, lengthen the neck. And breathe particularly into the left lung. Explore that opening through the left side ribs. And inhale, reach your left arm to the sky. Take your gaze to the floor. To release, both hands to the floor on either side of your front leg. Lift your back heel, step back, downward facing dog. And take that moment for the sensations in your body to arise and then melt, so that they can then be replaced by the more subtle sensation of the breath and that hum of the body that tells you you're alive. Second side, inhale, extend your left leg back and up. Press through the heel, press through the hands. Exhale, knee to your chest, shift forward, step the foot between the hands. Spin your back heel on a 45-degree angle. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Strong through the lower body, light through the upper body, so the spine is lifting up and away from the pelvis. Long neck. Take a deep breath in, reach up through the fingertips. And exhale, sweep the arms out and down, bring the hands to prayer. 2 more rounds like this. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sweep them out and down, hands to prayer. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to prayer. And inhale, lift the arms, hold them there with that slight retention at the top of each breath. That sense that the spine is continuously growing towards the sky. Sink a little bit lower into that front leg. Inhale to lengthen the arms. And exhale to open out. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, second side. There needs to just be a shuffle of the feet, so you've got your front heel and your back heel in alignment. Do that. Arms at shoulder height, palms face down, and pull the hands apart so you feel the chest become more open. And bring the left hand to the thigh, sweep your right arm overhead. Find that diagonal line. The gaze can be up underneath the arm. If that's tweaky for the neck at any point, look out or down. And explore the breath through the right side body. Feel the stretch of the skin around the right ribs. Expanding the capacity and the volume of the breath and just the general sense of space inside of you. Continue to spiral the chest towards the sky. And inhale to reach the right arm to the sky. Take the gaze to the floor, then to release, hands on either side of the front foot, lift the back heel, step back, downward facing dog. And pause. Once you've taken care of the physical alignment, drop your attention on that and just drop into the moment. Now inhale, extend your right leg back and up. As the right heel lifts, that left heel presses down. Exhale, knee to chest, shift forward, step the foot between your hands. This time lower your back knee to the ground. If you need a little bit of padding under the knee, you can organize it. Then lift up, bring your hands to your waist. Then keep the right hand on the waist and extend your left arm to the sky. So as you inhale, stretch up through that left hand, sink a little deeper into the lunge. Then exhale, push through that front foot, bring that left arm by your side. So you just lessen the intensity of the lunge for a moment. Again, inhale, drop into that lunge, reach the left arm over, lift the heart, keep the gaze steady. And exhale, push through the front foot, lower the left arm. And again, breathe in, sink low, reach up. Breathe out, steady base. And inhale, reach that left arm high. This time hold. And you've got a few options here. We'll actually move into a psoas stretch. So option number one is to keep your right hand on your waist and tip that left arm over so you have a lateral stretch through the left side body. And that might be a lot already. If you can take it a little bit deeper, you can actually shift that right hand so it's either resting on a block or on the ground. Now, when you come into this side stretch, it's really important that the shoulders stay stacked over the hips. You don't want to tip forward because the stretch is too great. Be aware of that nice long line from the back knee to the top hand. And although it's the left side that's getting this stretch, you also want the left side to provide you with support. And you can create that support and tractioning by actively reaching through the left fingertips. Take one more breath. And to release, sweep the arm out and down. Bring both hands to the floor on either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg, step back, downward facing dog. One side will feel more open than the other. That's okay. Maybe more alive. We'll even this up in a moment on the second side. Inhale and extend the left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to chest, shift forward, step the foot through. Lower the right knee to the floor, lift up, both hands to your waist. This time keep the left hand where it is and reach your right arm to the sky. Take a second to find a stable foundation. So if that front ankle is wobbly, press down through the inner ball of that foot and lift the arch of the foot up. And inhale, sink deeper into the lunge, but reach higher through the hand. And exhale, push through the front foot, lower that right arm down. Twice more. Breathe in, sink and reach. Lift the chest, lift out of the waist. And exhale, find some stability. Deep breath in. Feel the low belly, the belly button lift. And exhale. One more time, breathe in. This time hold here. And then you can have your left hand to the waist, a block or the floor. Tip over, stretch through the right fingertips. Feel that lengthening through the right side body. Keep the front ribs in. Explore whatever length you can create through the tailbone. You're not just reaching through the right hand, you're also elongating through the crown of your head. So the neck is still an extension of this lateral curve of the spine. Take one more breath. To release, bring that right arm out and then down, both hands to either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg, step back, downward facing dog. Be curious and have a sense of play about whatever dance of sensation is alive for you right now. And just give it a chance to play out. Take a deep breath into the chest. Feel that space around the heart. Exhale fully, navel to spine. Bend the knees a little bit, gaze forward. Step to a forward fold at the top of your mat, feet hip width apart. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale to fold. Inhale to standing, reach your arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands through prayer, arms by your sides, Tadasana. We'll begin some movement in a moment. We're going to circulate a little bit of energy with some sun salutations. But before we do, in this moment of stillness, let's take a moment to connect with the beauty in the ordinariness of this experience. And carry that feeling with you as you begin to move. Open your eyes. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, lead with the heart and fold. Fingertips to the floor or hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the chin tucked in. We'll modify this first round. Exhale, palms flat, step back, high plank. Make sure your arm bones are stacked. Nice long line from shoulders to heels. Breathe in at the top. And exhale, lower the knees. Lower yourself to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift the chest. Light through the hands. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, into the chest, out from the belly. And at the end of your next exhale, bend your knees, step forward. Straight into your halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale to fold. Inhale to standing, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands through prayer. By your side, Tadasana. Let's go again. Inhale, lift up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Now you can modify here again if you like. Otherwise, inhale where you are. Exhale, shift forward, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog or Cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Hold here for a few breaths. Just you, this moment, and your breath. At the end of the exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, step forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Inhale to standing, reach high, gaze forward. Hands through prayer. Arms by your sides. Exhale. And take yourself through one more round on your own. Remember to hold downward facing dog for a few breaths before you finish the salutation. Remember that the point is not to get through this super quickly, but just to learn how to inhabit the moment you're in more fully. At the end of that round, hold still. If you pay attention to your hands, you'll feel a tingle in them. You might also feel that tingle up the arms, in the chest, even in the face and the lips. That tingle will be accompanied by a feeling of inner light. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step directly back to downward facing dog. Breathe in at the top. With your exhale, lower the knees to the floor, 4-point kneeling pose. We'll set up for Anahatasana, melting heart pose. So for this, keep your hips stacked directly atop your knees, and then walk your hands forward as you drop the chest towards the floor. Now the chest may or may not touch the floor. It really doesn't matter. You just want to feel that opening through the front of the chest and also the armpits and shoulders. You can bring the forehead to the ground, or if it's too far away, grab your block or a pillow and rest your forehead on that. And if you feel that you need support through the chest as well, you can also grab a bolster or a pillow and place it underneath the chest. And if at any point in time there's too much compression through the shoulders or you start to lose sensation through the arms, just take the hands wider and bend the elbows a little. And 2 more breaths. And then release by drawing the hips back into child's pose, hips to heels. Walk the hands back. Just take a breath or two here, not too long, but long enough for the shoulders and the arms to have a break. So then shift forward to a kneeling position on all fours again. This time we'll set up for Dolphin Pose. So if you're not familiar with Dolphin, it's a lot like downward facing dog, except you're on your forearms rather than your hands. So to set up, bring your forearms to the floor. And you want your elbows to be no more than shoulder width apart. You can check that just by grabbing hold of your elbows. If you can hold onto them, they're in the right spot. Then direct the hands forward so the forearms are parallel to each other. Spread the fingertips wide, grip the fingertips down, press the palms into the ground. Then tuck your toes under, lift your hips, press up and back. It doesn't matter if you can get your legs straight here. If the knees need to be bent, that's fine. If you need to walk the feet in a little bit, you can. But the thing I really want you to focus on is the combination of openness and strength through the chest and the shoulders. So you press through the arms, you brace the shoulders, and stretch your chest gently towards your thighs. Press the balls of your feet into the floor as you lift your hip creases higher. And make sure that although there's quite a bit of effort that goes into this pose, it looks simple, but it asks of us a lot, that we're still connected to a deep and flowing breath. Stay with that breath for 2 more rounds. At the end of those rounds, lower your knees down. Sit onto your heels for Vajrasana. Palms face up on your thighs, eyes open or closed. Whichever helps you maintain that connection to that growing hum of aliveness within you, that lightness and fullness that's starting to grow from within. Now flip over and lie on your back, bridge setup position, just like right at the beginning of the practice. And although we've already done bridge pose in this sequence, I just want to return to it again for a moment. So keep the arms down by your sides, have the heels quite close to your hips. Inhale, lift your hips to the sky, bridge pose. Just like before, you can keep the arms where they are, or you can interlace the hands underneath you, wriggle the shoulders in, and work into the upper chest. Also be aware of the positioning of the legs. If you're clenching your butt, your knees will be turned out. You want to unclench the butt and roll your inside thighs down to the floor so the legs can be parallel and there's more space through the low back. Take 1 more breath in. And exhale, release the hands, release the hips to the floor, lower slowly down. So the reason that we return to that is that might already be quite a big back bend for you, and if it is, please stay with bridge pose. We are now going to move into wheel preparation and wheel, but for whatever reason that may not be in your practice. Maybe just not today, or maybe just because it's big and you're still working towards it. So please make a decision that's going to be safe and supportive for you on this day. Take your time with this exploration of wheel. You'll get the effect of the back bend regardless of what one you choose. So if you want to come into wheel preparation or wheel, shift the arms so the hands are now next to the head on either side. Palms flat on the ground with the fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Good. And we're going to come into wheel preparation first. So push into the hands, lift your head clear of the floor, and then land gently on the crown of the head. If you need to shuffle the hands here at all, you can. And you might choose to stay here. If you do, there's very little weight in the head. It's being carried by the rest of the body. Or you can come into wheel by pushing into hands and feet and lifting all the way up. Cool. So keep the feet parallel and draw your chest forward and then up. Relax the head and feel that your belly button is the highest point of the curve, and that you can explore and extend that curve by pushing the palms down more firmly and pushing the feet down more firmly, as though you were actually straightening the legs. One more breath in wherever you are. Then to release, tuck the chin, land on the back of the head, and then roll down. Just a couple of breaths between rounds. We will do one more round. And then whether you're going for bridge, wheel preparation, or wheel, set yourself up and come directly into it. A push to rise. You can feel this kind of expansion through the entire front body. That opening of the breath and the lungs, that vibrancy and energy in the body. And there's a lot of effort here as well. Take 2 more breaths. And then to release, tuck the chin, land on the back of the head. Roll down. And pause in this bridge setup position, so don't do anything with the legs at this point. And notice how now the effort is gone, but that inner light and vibrancy remains. Now keep the arms where they are, and just simply draw the knees to the chest. And inhale, extend your legs to the sky, sweep your arms all the way overhead, back of hands touch the floor, lift the collarbones, tuck the chin. And exhale, knees to chest, arms down by your side. Do this a few more times. Inhale, extend the legs to the sky, sweep the arms overhead, reach through the heels, press down through the low back, and exhale, release, knees in, arms down. And again, breathe in to extend. Breathe out to release. We'll hold this last round. Breathe in to extend. And then hold as you breathe naturally. So wheel is a really big back bend. Bridge is plenty for the spine as well. Just slowly want to work the spine in a neutral position before we begin to release any tension in the back that we've created as we've worked towards that peak. One more breath in, into the heart. And then exhale, release. Bend the knees, feet down, arms by your sides. Okay, so listen out for these next cues because they're slightly unusual. Take your right ankle to your left thigh. So you're not crossing the thighs, you're crossing the ankle over the thigh. Good. So you flex that right foot. And then draw your left knee into the chest and wrap your hands around your left thigh. So you thread that right arm in between the two legs, hold on to the left thigh or shin, and gently draw that left knee towards your chest until you start to feel a stretch through the outer right thigh. So the head and the shoulders are relaxed on the floor. The low back is an anchor point for the shape. And take one more breath. And another slightly unusual transition. So to release, draw your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg along the floor. We'll come into Supine Twist. Keep hold of the right knee with your left hand. Reach the right arm out to the side. Breathe in at the top. And exhale to twist. Drop the knee to the left. Stack the hips right on top of left. An option to take your gaze towards that right hand, but if that's a little tweaky for the neck, you can look to the sky. It's not important for you to have that top knee touching the floor. It is important for you to have the right shoulder blade pressing down. Just allow gravity and time to release tension from the back and the outer hip. And with the next breath in, release from the twist. And exhale, hug that right knee into the chest. We set up for the second side, both feet on the floor, both legs bent. This time cross your left ankle over your right thigh, flex that left foot. And then draw your right knee into the chest as you thread your hands around that right thigh or shin. So the reason that we flex that left foot is because it actually also just switches some muscles on around that left knee, and it supports the knee as that knee is in rotation. And breathe as any tension in the outer hip starts to express and then fade. Take one more breath. And to release, take hold of the left knee, extend your right leg on the floor. Hold on to the left knee with the right hand, reach the right arm out to the side, breathe in. And exhale to twist, knee to the right, option for the gaze to the left. Feel that nice long line from the sole of that bottom foot all the way to the crown of the head. That spiral from the left armpit to the top hip. Take one more breath. And inhale to release the twist. This time exhale, hug both of your knees into your chest. Then roll off to the right hand side. Come into a seated position for one final pose before Shavasana Paschimottanasana. So extend both of the legs forward. If you're a little tight through the hamstrings, you can bend the knees. If you're a little tight through the low back, you might want to sit up on a bolster or a blanket. So draw the toes towards the face. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And exhale, lead with the chest, fold forward to your degree. Take hold of your feet, or if the feet are too far away, hold on to your shins. Halfway lift, breathe in, stretch the chest forward. And exhale to fold. Go just as far as you can without collapsing the chest or lungs. Be present to your experience. Be present to your breath. Be present to the fact that you are in a unique place at this unique time. Couple more breaths. And then release to a seated position. Pause in stillness at the top. Make your way directly into Shavasana. If the back feels a little tender, you might want to slide a bolster or a pillow under your knees. Arms by your sides, palms face up, eyes closed. And aware of the chest. And that space deep inside of the spiritual heart. Notice that in that space is a good feeling. Allow that feeling to expand. Allow your breathing to become deeper. Wriggle fingers, wriggle toes. Roll your head from side to side. If you want, you can reach the arms overhead and stretch out. Plug the left leg into the ground, roll over onto your right side, curl up there. Make your way up to a seated position on your meditation prop. For pranayama and meditation, keep things nice and simple with this pranayama. It'll just be an inhale for 6, hold the breath in for 4, exhale for 6. And I'll count you through the first couple of rounds and then I'll hand that over to you. Sit tall, eyes closed. Lift the collarbones, soften the belly. Just take a deep breath in, no count. And a full breath out. Let's begin. Inhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold in for 4. Exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold in for 4. Presence in the heart. Exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep going like this. Inhale 6. Hold in 4, exhale 6. Each time the breath is held in, drop the mind into the heart and experience that brightness and fullness that lives there. And cycle through one more round of breath after the one that you're on. After that round, allow the breathing to flow easily and naturally. And consider whatever it is in your life that brings you joy. Focus less on the thing itself and more on the feeling of joy itself, the experience of joy inside of you. Connect with that feeling in as much color and vibrancy as you can. And then draw that feeling inwards to a single point deep into the heart, where that feeling of joy becomes condensed. And in that single point in the heart, notice that that feeling is accompanied by a light source. It could be a small almond-sized flame, or a bright and luminous pearl. And as you inhale, experience that light and also that feeling expand outwards till it fills the whole chest. As you exhale, that light and that feeling return to their source in your heart. Inhale, that light and that feeling expand throughout the chest. Exhale, they return to their source in the heart, and just keep going like this. You might find that over time the breath naturally falls away, becomes more subtle. But notice that even as the breath becomes more subtle, that light continues to pulse with an intelligence all of its own, independent of the breath. Also notice that as the breath becomes still, the mind becomes very still as well. And as the mind becomes single-pointed, it's drawn right into the heart of that light. And as you're drawn into that light, notice that it consumes everything around you. And you, as the source of that light, have an experience of Ananda Shakti. Feeling that all of your soul's desires are fulfilled. Also know that you have entered into the Vishak Jyotir, the light in the heart that is your indwelling source, your wellspring of contentment and joy. From out of this place, notice a pulse. And recognize that pulse as the silent pulse of Om. It's not something that you need to tack on from the outside, but something that you remember as already existing there. And allow the mantra to dissolve. And your breathing to deepen. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer at the heart. Bow your chin to your chest. Namaste.